Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. Well, it's come time to replace that front door handle. Maybe you've been putting it off because you just thought it would be really tough or take a long time. Well, if that's the case, I've got good news for you. We can change out one of these in about 5 minutes. Stay tuned and I'll show you how. Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. Well, this front door lock or handle is actually starting to give up the ghost a bit here. It's been around for a long time. And as you can see, a long time ago, we put an electronic lock, but it just wasn't a priority getting a match. And, you know, we kind of got used to the brass and, you know, antique brass look. But now this has started to become problematic. It doesn't operate correctly. And from time to time, if we go out, even though we've just unlocked it from the inside, cleared it, go out, we come back, we find that it's locked itself, and we're outside trying to get back in our own home. So now it's time to change it. There's just a few things you need to know, but you can get this changed out in about 5 minutes once you get the right door lock. Now, that brings me to my second point, and that is the door latch that we like to use is the Schlage brand. And that's how you pronounce it. If you go up on their website, you can go right to a video that we've got at the bottom linked to their website pronouncing their name, which is Schlage. Now, there's a lot of discussion whether that's the real way. It ought to be done in German, but that's what they call themselves. Enough of that. Let's just look here and see that this particular set is designed to pair with a deadbolt. So this one includes the interior doorknob on the side, plus an exterior door, but is not keyed like this one is. So this needs to absolutely be keyed or actually installed with another lock or deadbolt. Otherwise, you've got an unsecured door. But you get the point here. Now, there's a couple things you need to know before we jump in, just as far as range of sizes. If you get this part right, when it comes time to purchase it at the store, then when you get home, that 5-minute installation is a reality if you get the right thing. So you need to know a couple things about some of the measurements on the door. Let's move on to that, and I'll show you what those measurements are. By the way, just to let you know, whether or not you're installing one with a key lock in it like this, or the one we're doing here, which is a passage style, the installation is about the same, the time-wise, so it'll go very quickly. But there are actually a couple of dimensions you need to know on the door. So first of all, the distance from the center of where the knob's going to go, the hole where the knob is, to the edge of the door is called the back set. And most of the locks you can buy, especially the kind of set that I just bought, or perhaps Quick Set or others, you're going to find that they have a back set of either 2 3/8 inches, which is right at 60 millimeters, or 2 3/4 inches, which would be further back, or right at 70 millimeters. So you need to make sure that whatever the distance is for your door from here to the edge is within the range that you want to purchase your door handle for your latch. Okay. The second thing you need to know is the distance from the center this way, right here, down to the bottom attachment knob down below. And the range of that, those are usually somewhere around 9 inches. The Schlage model that we just were showing you has a range of 8 3/4 inches, which is 213 millimeters, up to 9 7/8, which is 251 millimeters. Now, you don't need to write all this down. It's in the description below. You can just go down there and see all this information. But you need to make sure that the handle is going to fit the hole that you've got there. The third thing you need to know is the thickness of the door. Now, standard exterior doors in the United States typically come in at 1 3/4 inches right here, which is 44 millimeters roughly. Interior doors are generally around 1 3/8 inches, which is about 35 millimeters. But most exterior doors you're going to find in the sets that you buy from will fit on a 1 3/4 inch or 44 millimeter door right here. So here we go. We've got that. Now that we know those dimensions there, now it comes time to go ahead and remove the old lock set. As far as tools go, this is really simple. I like to use a driver drill, although I use it just gently so that I don't over dry or strip out screws. And that is a number 2 Phillips tip. Or if you just like using a manual, regular old screwdriver, there you go, a number 2. The other thing that you'll likely need is a very small flat screwdriver to remove one of the vanity covers that's down below on the bottom hole there, which we'll show you in just a moment. So simple tooling, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open the door and remove the screws off of the back set. Here we go. Here's the latch right here. So we're just going to go ahead and take these screws out. Just leave the back set, the latch loose. Go ahead and close the door again. All right, let's just pop off this cover. And when we do, we can see that we have a screwdriver or a screw there that the screwdriver can be used just to remove. It's a fairly long bolt because it needs to go through the 1 3/4 inch door there to the other side. So now we've taken out 2 of the set of fasteners, and the third ones are right here on both sides of the latch. So we're going to carefully open this, and we'll go ahead and remove those. Now, I like to use this long drill simply to get past the knob. If you have a lever style, it's a little easier, but because the knob is kind of the way, you can't just take the driver and put it in straight. You have to go at an angle, and you just lightly remove those so you don't strip anything out. All right. Okay, those are completely removed now. Let's go ahead and move out the door handle. Well, that one's still got a couple threads left on it. All right, that whole handle has now come off this side. We can now pull off the outside. There's the outside. And now we can push the back set of the latch out. Now you have a stripped door that is ready to go. And boy, it's cold outside, so we better get this job done. Now we're going to reverse our steps with a new set, and this will go very speedily. Okay, the new set here simply opens up. Inside, you have a handle. The inside handle, there's the outside handle ready to go. Some good packing. Inside of this box right here, you can see that we have our new latch, our back set. You have a nice set of instructions right here with good pictograms. So this will keep you out of trouble if you're actually doing one that has to do with having a keyed lock here. That'll walk you through it. Usually these instruction sheets are for various models, and that's the case with this one from Schlage. And then, of course, here's the inside door latch or doorknob. And again, you've just seen that. So let's reverse our steps. The first thing you need to do is put the back set in. Now, make sure you put it the right direction. As you notice, there is a taper on that. So you want this taper side to go to the outside, not to the inside, otherwise it'll hit the strike when you go and close it. The strike is this part on the jamb. Okay, so what we're going to do is put the taper to the outside, go ahead and slide that in, place it, and then what we're going to do is go ahead and just put a couple of screws, but not drive them home all the way. But not quite all the way home. I like to keep things a little bit loose so at the end you have room to adjust things. So right now if I close this, then I'd have a little trouble open. I have to pull it back here. So we'll just leave it partially open like that. Then we're going to go ahead and take the exterior handle which here it is. It's ready to go. We're going to put it through. Notice there is a square shank, and that matches a square opening here in the back set. So I'm going to put it right through, and I'm going to adjust the plate on the bottom so that the part goes through the door, and there we go. Now I'm able to hold it on there, and it actually will hold itself there. Let's go ahead and put on the second side, the inside, and thread the long screws in. Because this is a passage lock, there is no turn or anything like this to lock it or engage it that way. So this simply goes on here, and you'll see right behind each of the door latches, it's a little hard to see with this light and the color of this hardware, but there's a screw hole that goes right through here that's going to allow these screws we're putting in to line up directly and engage the other side and hold it tight. Here we go. You will need to finesse these screws a little bit to get them to line up, but once they engage, then simply line up your plate in the back here so it's not running not parallel to the edge of the door. Line it up, and then go ahead and tighten the top first. Just don't over tweak, just bring it on home. There it goes. We'll really tighten it in a moment. Okay. Let's do a test run. Let's just see. Yep, this works well. The door latch outside works just fine. It's in place. We'll need to put the through bolt here in just a moment. All right, since this is working well and latches just great, we're going to go ahead and tighten these now. Doesn't take much. Okay, there that is. All right, and I'll hand tighten the rest just so I can feel how tight I'm getting it. Yeah, that's good. That's good as well. All right. All right, we have a nice latch here. Now comes time to go ahead and put the throw bolt down at the bottom and take care of that, and then put a cover on it as well. All right, go ahead and insert the bolt in, find the thread on the other side. All right, let's drive that on home. Got a good solid connection on both sides. And now install the decorative rosette that is there to cover that all up. That just goes on with thumb pressure, and now this side of the door is done. The next thing to do is just put on the strike plate. That takes a few moments to adjust, and there you have a complete installation that only took a few minutes. Now, obviously, it took a lot longer to explain this than it did to install it. This used to be my job a long time ago of installing hardware at the very end. And you could literally open boxes and had fasteners set up, and you could have these done in 5 minutes, including the strike plate, and adjust it and go on to the next one. Both are exterior, interior doors. Now, if you really would like to know more information, check out the description below where we give you all of the links, but we also tell you about some of the measurements that I called out earlier. Well, now you know how to do this simple job. Another great thing that homeowners need to know, those that have trailers, and many of you do, well, from time to time, you're going to need to rewire those lights. Well, here's a video that we showed you how to wire them correctly, what wires, what color wires go where. And while you're at it, check out this other video that YouTube has chosen from our catalog that they think is perfect for you, and we think you'll enjoy it too. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, this is Dirt Farmer Jay from dirtfarmerjay.com.